Reddit has all the dirt, especially on people's exes. I don't know what it is about Reddit, but people just go on there and treat it like an online diary, and they just hash it all out. Told me how she was so torn up about us not being together that she had pulled out all of her pubic hair. Why? Was that supposed to make him feel bad? Was that supposed to make him come running back? Like, that would hurt so bad. Plucking your eyebrows hurts enough. Are you kidding? Oh, yeah, no. No man is worth doing that. My ex decided that at one point we should stop eating and become photosynthetic by standing barefoot in the dirt and staring at the sun. Also, that the government used airplanes to paint clouds on the sky, which was obviously fake. He spent hours taking pictures of the sky as proof. He became slightly less crazy after he came off of 100 milligrams of Adderall a day and detoxed. Then he told me that men were more evolved than women. Yet he couldn't work or clean or do anything but get drunk and play World of Warcraft. Well, you lost me the minute you said that we should stop eating. You lost me there. That would have been enough for me. I dated I don't know if I could say that. I dated an exotic dancer for about 6 months. Yeah, I know. My little brother got cancer partway through our relationship, and I was obviously in the hospital with him the majority of the time. She got the flu, and without fail, she called me every day crying that I wasn't able to take care of her. Not the best, but how our relationship ended was quite grand. We adopted a cat for Valentine's Day, and she loved that little guy to death. One day she's leaving for work and asked me to feed the cat. Of course I will, but I had an unusually long day at work and I was tired. So I decided to lay down on her couch and take a cat nap. Pun fully intended. While she got off work early and seen that I did not feed the cat, I started having a dream that I was being stabbed with a fork. Well, I was 13 times in the back. Oh, because I didn't feed the cat. She threw her dancing heel at me with deadly accuracy. Hit me right in the back of the head and stunned me enough so I fell down 2 flights of stairs, got concussed, and sprayed both ankles and wrists. The next day she calls me and acts like nothing happened. Okay, so basically this is attempted murder we're talking about here. Over a cat. Not even over a cat being fed a few hours prior to the nap. My ex broke up with me just before she went away to university because long distance never works. I texted her when she was away, but she didn't reply. She wouldn't even answer texts asking why she's not replying, and I was sending maybe 15 to 20 per day. I soon heard from friends that she had a new boyfriend, so I phoned her to find out straight from her mouth if it was true, but that crazy still didn't reply. Pissed me off a bit, so I left some voicemails with a few choice words, but then I felt bad, so I left one apologizing. I knew if I could just see her, she would stop acting so insane and would realize she still loved me. I got her address from the university, surprisingly easy, and had just pulled up across the road when she comes out the door and gets in a car with another guy. I knew at this point she must be deliberately being a crazy, hurtful so I followed the car to talk to her when they got out, but they pulled up outside Michelin star restaurants, so the crazy is obviously just after his money. I wrote a note addressed to her calling her a crazy, hurtful, spiteful, but that I still loved her and asked her to please get in touch. That was yesterday, and I still haven't heard anything. Wow, this is the crazy person writing the crazy message. Usually it's someone talking about their crazy ex, and I'm confused. If you're trying to make your ex look crazy, it's not working. There's a lot of swear words in that. When I broke up with a significant other, she decided that she was pregnant. Oh, she just decided. Great. She went as far as to Photoshop ultrasound results and pregnancy tests and tell my mother she was going to be a grandmother. She even had a name picked out for the baby. She had everyone at our work, boarders, convinced I was a heartless bastard who didn't care about his unborn son. I finally found the original copy of the ultrasound that she had altered on Google image search. I sent it to her, and guess what? Never heard from her again. Not once. she went to great lengths to prove this pregnancy. To even get the family involved, like telling somebody they're gonna be a grandma. Oh, come on now. You're breaking hearts all around. I was dating a young lady who lived in the Midlands, and she'd come down to London at the weekends and we'd have some fun. Nothing too serious, but it made my weekends enjoyable. I bet it did, you dirty dog. Out of the blue, I was asked to move from London to New York by work, so I told my then casual partner that I would like to break things off because I was leaving the country. She accepted it and stopped coming down on the weekends. Anyway, fast forward a few months and my move to New York gets canned due to budget cuts. I still had my ex on Facebook and I start to notice some odd photos popping up. It turned out she had quit her job and moved to New York when she thought I was going to move and was now living there for 6 months. She reached out to tell me a few days later and I had to explain that I wasn't there. She was kind of pissed. You know, when you're about to move to a different country, like to surprise somebody, you should really talk to them about it first. Maybe, you know, ask when they're leaving for their trip. Like, come on now. In high school, my ex-girlfriend carved my name under her left breast. After I broke up with her, it's still there. Carved it how? Girls, this self-inflicted pain is not worth any man, I tell you that. No. I recently moved from Florida to Wales to do a bit of traveling. I started seeing this girl very casually for about 3 months before I left Florida. After moving, we stayed in touch and I realized that she was a bit crazy. Facebook messages, texts, and phone calls every day. Not just like 1 or 2, like 10 every day. After the first week, I stopped answering. It took her a month to stop calling. It took her another month to stop texting and Facebooking me. The last message I got was, "You suck, by the way. Don't miss you anymore. Just saying." Best thing I've ever read. Take a hint. Just take a hint. You don't gotta do all that to know if a guy is interested in you. Or anyone, for that matter. Ex number 1. Turned out to be a pathological liar who would wait until I went to work so he could do illegal substances in my living room. I always wondered how in the heck my house was so clean. He flipped out one night, refused to leave until my big brother and his best friend and the police showed up, and on his way out the door stole my leather jacket. Not a big deal, and anything else he could get his grimy hands on. Then had the audacity to show up at my work on a date, ask for me, and proceed to give one of my friends his phone number so I could call him. Yeah, right, loser. That is a lot. Not a big deal that you stole your leather jacket. I will be damned if any of my exes stole anything of mine. I don't care if it was $5. Don't take it. That's mine. I have an ex who almost drove me off a bridge in my own car. Well then. I would have to say almost all of my exes, one really takes the cake though. We were going good and steady for about half a year. We had discussed possibly getting married and all the great stuff being in love tends to bring up. Fast forward a few months and I found out that she was cheating on me while I went on a 2-week field exercise. She said she was lonely and I told her that I was done with her. No cheaters allowed in my book, can't stand them. About 9 months later, I get a letter from an attorney saying I was the father of her child. And my jaw dropped just like mine did. I used protection the entire time, so how in the world was I the father of this random child she's having? I got the paternity test done and that's how I found out that I was the father of her child. I call her up and ask how in the world I am the father. We used protection and she was on the pill. Turns out she would stop taking the pill and take a used condom and get herself preggo to try to save the relationship by having a child. Bro, do you guys not watch the Maury Show? Like, it's a terrible example, but bringing a child in to save a relationship, worst idea. You gotta have a solid thing going to raise a child in a nice home and environment. That is it. Well, if you feel like exposing any of your exes today, feel free to do so. Just comment below. I'm out of here. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. I will see you guys tomorrow.